dark deal. As the sun sets, dark clouds swirl overhead and lightning strikes all around. A local farm boy, out of breath from running, shouts that one of the locals has gone mad and run off into the mines. He's making a deal. He's selling us all out to some demon so he can get rich. Hello and welcome back to Artemus Tau, Trederran veteran. Let's go over the changes to Artemus since our last episode. His sanity is now 19, thanks to his spirit guide helping him through the spiritual cleansing. He has 1,045 XP, $1,830 in gold, and 6 points of corruption. Let's join Artemus Tau as he attempts to stop this dark deal put forth by one of the locals. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Artemus Tau, Trederran veteran. Today we will be doing Mission 3 from the Caverns of Cinder adventure book, A Dark Deal. Our mission goal: one of the local frontier folk has betrayed his neighbors, selling them out to a cinder demon for wealth and power. Artemus is searching for the trader's campsite down in the mines to try and prevent his demonic dark deal from going through before it's too late. Roll a d6 to determine which townsperson has betrayed his neighbors. On a 1-2, it's local doc. 3-4, the preacher. And 5-6, a prospector. The preacher. Special rules for this mission: there are no gates. And we have fast darkness. Whenever the darkness moves forward on the depth track, because the hold back the darkness roll has failed, it moves 1 extra space. Let's hold back the darkness. Double sixes right out of the gate. Well, we have nothing to heal, but we will certainly regain a grit. Let's also see how many shatter grenades Artemus is starting with. 3 shatter grenades, excellent. We'll also be gaining a whiskey for this adventure from our soldier's satchel ability. Rolling for movement. 5. Artemus will look through, and he has found a blasted cavern. Let's see if this will lead to the left or the right. 1, 2, 3 will be the left, 4, 5, 6 will be the right. To the left. We do have an advanced encounter for this room. Mining accident. This looks to be the scene of a darkstone mining accident. Blast marks scorch the walls, support beams are cracked and splintered, and the old minecart rails here are broken and twisted. There's darkstone radiation. All heroes ending their move on this map tile take a corruption hit on a d6 roll of 1 or 2. Fantastic. Make a luck 6+ test. Artemus has a 5 for luck. He's unsuccessful. He does not get to draw a loot card. This card does remain in play for the Darkstone Radiation. Revealing our exploration token. 1 doorway and an attack. We will be attacked by D3+1 Shikari Nomad Crusaders. 4 Shikari Nomads. Shikari Nomad Crusaders are Shikari, Soldier, and Fanatic. They are size medium with initiative 4. They have Snapfire. Means they will target, move, and attack in melee as normal, but they will also take shots of opportunity with their ranged weapons throughout the fight. At the start of their activation, if there are no heroes adjacent to them, they take a free ranged attack. After completing their free ranged attack, they will select a target, move, and make a melee attack as normal. They also hit and run. They roll a d6 for each Shikari that's adjacent to a hero at the end of their activation, and on the roll of 3+, they will make a free move along the shortest distance to no longer be adjacent. They have armor 4+. They have an L23 pulse gun, which is their ranged attack with a range of 10, 2 shots doing 3 damage each. They're hunting for corruption. They prioritize their targets, including for Snapfire, based on the most mutations or most corruption points if tied for the number of mutations. Their final ability is Seek and Destroy. Shikari Nomad attacks are +1 damage for each Darkstone or Darkstone icon on an item that the target carries. If no hero in the party has any Darkstone mutations or corruption, they do not fight the heroes. Instead, the Shikari give each hero a loot card for keeping it clean and depart peacefully. Well, that is not going to happen because Artemus is highly corrupted right now. They have a movement of 5. Artemus can escape on a 3+. Their range to hit is 3+. Their melee to hit is 4+. They have 3 combat that do 2 damage each. They have a 3 for defense and 4 health. And since we are level 3, they will also gain 1 elite ability. 1 covering fire. When making a ranged attack, each Shikari Nomad gains 1 shot for each other Shikari Nomad model that is currently adjacent to a hero on the same or adjacent map tile. Alright. Let's hold back the darkness. 7 is good. We are tied for initiative, so the Shikari Nomads will go first. First taking their free ranged attacks. They each get 2 shots that do 3 damage each. We'll roll them all together, so 8 shots total. Scoring 5 hits. Artemus has a range defense of 3+. Blocking all but 1 shot. Let's see if his armor will block these 3 wounds. He has armor 5+. His armor absorbs 1 and he takes 2 wounds. Nomads will now move in. They have a 5 for movement. Rolling their 6 combat, 3 for each of the 2 Shikari Nomads that are adjacent to Artemus. They hit on a 4+. They score 4 hits, we'll say it's 2 apiece. Artemus has a melee defense of 4+. He defends 2. See if his armor can defend against these 4 wounds. He has armor 5+. He blocks 2 and takes 2 more wounds. The Shikari will now attempt to do their hit and run. On the roll of 3+, they will move away from Artemus. Starting with this guy. He will move. And the second guy will also move. Artemus will throw a shatter grenade at the Shikari in front of him, landing right behind them, exploding on a 3+. Got him. Each of these Shikari will get D3 wounds plus a stun marker. First guy takes 3 wounds. Second Shikari Nomad also takes 3 wounds. Taking a corruption hit to fire our Darkstone Carbine. Willpower is 4+. He fails. Let's see if his Veteran's Breath Mask will help block that corruption point. On a 5+, we will not take any more corruption. Yes, no corruption. Taking his 2 shots, hitting on 3+. Whoa, 2 critical hits. We are going to put these hits into the 2 unwounded Shikari behind us. And they are dead. And that's how Artemus rolls, boys. Welcome to his frontier. Holding back the darkness. 11 is good. Artemus does have to take a corruption hit because we did not move off of this map tile. Willpower is 4+. And he defends. Shikari will take their free range shot. They each get 2 shots, hitting on 3+. Scoring 2 hits, 1 apiece. Artemus defends on a 3+. And he defends them both. They will move in and make their melee attacks. Their melee hits on a 4+. Scoring 5 hits. Artemus defends on a 4+ for melee. He blocks 4 of the hits, only 1 getting through. See if his armor will prevent these 2 wounds. He has armor 5+. He blocks 1 and takes 1 wound. They'll each roll their hit and run on a 3+. They'll move away. First guy moves. Second guy also moves. Let's roll for Artemis's movement. Hey, he could gain a grit, but he's at his max grit. We're just going to move back 1 to get out of this room. Taking his corruption hit to fire his gun. Willpower is 4+. No, he takes the hit. Can his Veteran's Breath Mask prevent the point? On a 5+, we will not take that corruption. Whew! That Breath Mask is coming in clutch today. Taking his 2 shots, hitting on 3+. 1 crit, 1 hit. Normal hit. Put on this guy. We only need 1 wound to get through. So as long as we roll a 4 or better, he is dead. We already know the other guy's going to be dead, but let's see if he gets completely vaporized. He does! Artemus will catch his breath. Healing 1 wound. Let's see what kind of loot they have left behind for us. 100 gold. Rolling for movement. 3. Rolling for his corruption hit for stopping on this map tile. Willpower 4+. No corruption hit. Holding back the darkness. 11 is good. Rolling for movement. 4. his corruption hit once again. He defends. Artemus will look through into the next room, and we have found the excavation chamber. Adjusting the board, we do have an advanced encounter for this room. Ancient ruins. The room is a makeshift dig site. An excavation has uncovered ancient ruins of a massive alien statue buried for millennia in the earth. Make a lore 6+ test. Artemus has a 2 for lore. He is unsuccessful. Let's use a grit. No luck. Then if at least one hero passed the test, which we didn't, they realize the greater ramifications of what they have discovered. Immediately draw and play a Growing Dread card. Well, thank goodness we didn't pass. Let's reveal the exploration token. 2 doorways, a Growing Dread card, and an encounter. For this mission, we don't need clue icons, we just need to get to the number 11 space on the death track. Our Growing Dread card, the Power of Darkness. A pit in your stomach forms as you hear the cracking of bones and tearing of flesh up ahead. Whatever evil lies around the corner is clearly hungry for more. During the next fight, a random enemy group gains an extra elite ability. Our encounter, from my cold dead hands. A dead outlaw sits on the floor here, propped against the far wall. In one hand, he holds a tattered satchel. In the other, a 6-shooter aimed into the room. A twisted smile stretches across his decayed skull face. We must choose to take the satchel from his hand, making a strength 6+ test, or let the dead lay, no effect. Artemus, being a war-trained elite soldier, knows that you need to collect anything you come across on a battlefield. We will try to take the satchel from the man's hands. We have a strength of 4. We need a 6+. And we are successful. You wrench the satchel from his cold dead hands, draw 3 loot cards to see what's inside. Our first loot card. Coins, $25. Second loot card. This should come in handy. Draw a gear card. We have found a coach gun. Range 2, shots 2. Uses the D8 to hit. 6, 7, or 8 count as a critical hit. Critical hits are +X damage, where X is equal to the target's printed defense. Wow, that's pretty nice. It's a short range, but I like the critical ability on this. And our last loot card, 1 Darkstone Shard. Holding back the darkness. Double 6s! Double 6s in the mines trigger Stubborn Resolve. This place is horrible and unforgiving, but you're not about to give up without a fight. Each hero may heal D6 wounds or sanity, any mix, or recover a grit. We will go ahead and try to heal some of these wounds. We can heal 5 wounds. We only have 4. Perfect. Rolling for movement. 1. Well, at least we gain back a grit and we get off that map tile. Holding back the darkness. 11 is good. Rolling for movement. 2. Holding back the darkness. 3 will fail, and Fast Darkness will get us a darkness card. The darkness card we have pulled is a Bitter Harvest. Every hero must roll a d6 for each side bag token they have. On the roll of a 1 or a 2, discard that token. For each hero that discarded 1 or more tokens, move the darkness forward 1 space on the depth track. We have 4 side bag tokens. And we get to keep all 4. Rolling for movement, though we can only move ahead 1. Artemus will look through, and he has found a Hellbat hatchery. Shifting our board, we do have an advanced encounter for this room. Egg nest. The passage is covered in thick, sticky mucus, and large egg pods line the walls and floor. All heroes on this map tile need to roll 1 higher for defense rolls. Also, roll a d6. 1 acid burst. Make an agility 5+ test. Artemus has an agility of 2. Ooh, we are going to spend a grit on that one. We are successful. This card does remain in play because we do need to roll 1 higher for defense while on this map tile. Revealing our exploration token. 1 doorway and 1 encounter. Let's see which way the doorway will be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The encounter we have drawn is Flickering Lantern. As the lantern flickers and threatens to go out, the hero's fears are made manifest by the shadows. All heroes are subject to voices in the dark during the next turn. Holding back the darkness. 8 is good. Rolling for voices in the dark. We take 1 d6 horror hits. 3 horror hits. Our willpower is 4+. We block 2 and take 1 point of sanity damage. Rolling for movement. 4. Artemus will look through. We have found the big room. Adjusting the board again. We do have an advanced encounter for this room. Shafts of light. The ceiling here is broken out in places with shafts of light spilling down into the room. Your spirits are lifted slightly at the hope that all is not lost. Not yet. Make a spirit 5+ test. Artemus has 2 for spirit. He is successful. For every 5+ rolled, you may recover a grit or cancel a darkness card on the roll of a 4, 5, or 6, or a growing dread card on the roll of a 5 or 6. Let's try to get rid of this darkness card that's going to give an extra elite ability in the next fight. We need a 5 or a 6. We are good! Let's reveal our exploration token. An ambush attack. And 2 doorways. Let's see which way will not be a doorway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We will be ambushed by D3 +1 Hellfire succubi. 3 Hellfire succubi. Hellfire succubi are demon cinder enemies. They are a medium size with initiative 8. They have vicious claws. Heroes are -1 to their defense rolls against Hellfire succubi combat hits. They are Hellfire demons. Hellfire succubi are immune to Hellfire and burning markers. They are also femme fatales. Hellfire succubi are immune to critical hits from male heroes and are +1 combat when targeting female heroes. They have a 7 for movement. Artemis can escape on a 5+. They have 3 combat that do 2 damage each. They have a 3 for defense and 7 health. Their elite ability will be 4 Soulless Eyes. They have +5 health, taking them to 12 health each. Holding back the darkness. 7 is good. Alright, these Hellfire succubi will go, attacking with their vicious claws. They have 3 combat each. We'll roll them separately. Starting with the one in front of Artemis. They hit on 3+. They score 2 hits. And the one directly behind Artemis. 3 hits. And last but not least, 1 hit. Artemis will attempt to defend these 6 hits. He is -2 to his defense rolls. So he needs to roll a 6. -1 to the Hellfire succubi's vicious claws, and -1 for still being in the egg nest tile. He does not block any. Let's see if his armor will help against any of these wounds. We'll roll them individually and then re-roll any misses we have combined. So the first Hellfire succubi in front of him would score 4 wounds. We defend them with our armor on a 5+. We block 1 of those 4 wounds. The one directly behind him would score 6 wounds. Again, we have armor 5+. We defend 2 of the 6. And the last Hellfire succubi, we defend against 2 wounds with our armor, 5+. And we block both of those. We'll spend our grit and re-roll our 7 wounds that we did not defend against with armor. Armor 5+. We defend 3 and take 4 wounds. Artemis will roll for an escape. He can escape on a 4+. He can escape. Rolling for movement. 6. We will throw a shatter grenade, detonating on a 3+. Excellent. They'll each take D3 wounds and a stun marker, starting with this one. 1 wound. Next one. Also 1 wound. And the last one, 3 wounds. Taking a corruption hit to fire his Darkstone Carbine, defending on a 4+. He defends. Taking his 2 shots, hitting on 3+. 2 hits. They are immune to criticals from male heroes. Let's put our first hit into the one that's wounded the most. This roll will be -3 to the roll. 4 more wounds. Well, if they didn't have that elite ability, this one would be killed. Oh, I forgot they are stunned. She actually gets 1 more wound. Their defense is only 2 while they're stunned. We're going to put our second shot directly into that same Hellfire succubi. Again, -2 to the roll. We need a 6 or better for her to be dead. She is killed. Holding back the darkness. 8 is good. Hellfire succubi will go. They each get 3 combat, hitting on 3+. 5 hits. Artemus is -1 for his defense, so he's got 5+ for defense against these 5 hits. Whoa, he blocks 3, taking 2 hits. His armor is 5+, attempting to block these 4 wounds. He blocks 1 and takes 3 more wounds. We're going to try out this coach gun, but let's first see if we can regain a grit. We do not. This coach gun has 2 shots that uses the D8 to hit. Artemus has a range of 3+. Scores 2 hits. Again, they are immune to criticals. We'll put them both into a single Hellfire succubi. These rolls will be -2 to each roll. Seven wounds. Holding back the darkness. 7 is just good. Hellfire succubi rolling their 3 combat. Hit on 3+, they score 5 hits again. Artemus defends on 5+. He does not defend any of these hits. He has armor 5+, attempting to defend 10 wounds. His armor blocks 3 and he takes 7 more wounds. Can Artemus recover a grit? He can. We'll again use the coach gun. 2 shots using a D8, hitting on 3+. 2 hits. Put one of the hits into this one. We need to roll to see if she breaks free of her stun marker. They'll each break free on the roll of a 4+. She does not. Does not as well. Our first shot will go into the heavily wounded succubi, -2 to the roll. 6 wounds, she is dead. Our last shot, again, -2 to the roll. 4 wounds. Holding back the darkness. 8 is good. Can the succubi get rid of her stun marker on a 4+? She does not. Rolling her 3 combat. She only scores 1 hit. Artemus defends on a 5+. He defends. Can he gain a grit? No. Rolling his 2 shots, hitting on 3+. 2 hits. Each of these rolls will be -2 to the roll. Can we get 7 wounds on her? 8 wounds. She is destroyed. Catching our breath. 2 wounds. Let's see what we got for loot. Golden nuggets. D6 times $50. $250. Holding back the darkness. 5 will fail, and with vast darkness, that gives us another darkness card. The darkness card we pulled is Shadow's Reach. The hero with the highest spirit and at least 1 Darkstone shard stares off into the darkness as they are tempted by the Shadow King's corrupt influence. Make a Spirit 6+ test. Our spirit is 2. We'll use a grit. No luck. For each roll that is not a 6+, take 1 corruption hit. If you would gain a mutation from this, instead roll D3 times on the madness table. Woo! Willpower is 4+. Artemus already has 6 corruption points, so if he takes 1 corrupt more point, we'll be rolling on the madness table. And it looks like we will take our corruption, and instead of mutating, we roll on the madness chart. We need to roll D3 madness. 2 madness. Our first madness. 3 delusions. Your fractured state of mind is in shambles, and you are ready to slip over the edge at any moment. Any further madness chart rolls are only made using a single D6. This madness is -1 to the roll to heal during an exorcism of madness at the church in town. Our second madness. 6. Paranoia. They're out to get you, all of them. Just look at the little one with the beady eyes. They want to kill you and take your stuff for themselves. Maybe they're all demons. They're all possessed. Anytime you want to scavenge or explore a doorway, you must first roll a D6. On the roll of a 1, 2, or 3, you cannot, as you're distracted, keeping an eye out for other heroes with you. So we are paranoid and delusional now. Awesome. Rolling for movement. Can we look through the door? We cannot. Apparently he's too paranoid to see what's on the other side. Holding back the darkness. 8 is good. Rolling movement. Can he look through this time? He can! Artemus looks through and he has found an underground lake. Shifting our board. We do have an advanced encounter for this room. Stirring in the deep. In the dark shadows ahead, you see a room that opens off to one side in a large underground cavern filled with still and murky water. As you enter the room, ripples start lapping at the shoreline. Something is out there. You can feel it. Make a luck 5+ test. Artemus has 5 for luck. He is successful. Looking out into the black, you see a glimmer of reflected light shine back at you. Is that eyes in the dark? If successful, gain 20 XP, and the reflected light was shimmering off of something gold. You may use 1 grit to wait out and get it. Well, we have no grit, so it's just going to stay out there, I guess. We have made it to the space marked 11 on the depth track, which means Artemus has found the doorway leading to the objective room. We must resolve the exploration token. Once any encounters or attacks have been resolved, attach the campsite map tile to the final door as the objective room, and place an exploration token on it as normal. Let's reveal our exploration token. Two encounters. Our first encounter, we're being watched. Shining the lantern's light into the dark corners of the room reveals little more than rocks and debris, yet you cannot shake the feeling that some unseen adversary hides just out of sight, watching and waiting. Make a spirit 5+ test. Artemus has 2 for spirit. He is successful. Gain 25 XP as you steal your resolve against whatever malevolent force is at work here. Our second encounter, the Wretched One. A gaunt and twisted creature wallows in the darkness here, gurgling and babbling an insane ramble of treasures lost and promises to keep. As he sees you approach, he scurries deeper into the shadows, light glimmering from his reflective eyes.
Been waiting, eh? Waiting so long, eh? For you. What have you brought me?
We must choose to offer a gift. We would discard an item, a side bag token, or Darkstone as a gift to the wretch. Or we can refuse his demands and make a strength 6+ test. Let's just go ahead and give him one of our Darkstone shards. He snatches it from your hand and squeeze with delight, disappearing into the dark. Attaching our final objective room. Holding back the darkness. 7 is good. Rolling for movement. Only 1, but at least we gain a grit. Holding back the darkness. 8 is good. Rolling for Artemis's movement. 4. Holding back the darkness. 10 is good. Rolling for movement. 5. At the end of the first turn in which one or more heroes is on the campsite tile, resolve all Growing Dread cards in the stack and reveal the exploration token. We have no Growing Dread. And we have an attack. Ignore all information on this final exploration token except whether it is an encounter or an attack. If the token is marked attack, the heroes are too late. The demon escapes and the townsperson falls to the ground before mutating into a massive demonic creature. Roll a d6. A 5 is a brutal harbinger. This creature also has an additional special ability. At the start of each turn, roll a d6. On a 4+, the demonic creature targets a random hero in line of sight and does the following. He was originally a preacher, so he will do a Hellfire Blast. Place a Hellfire marker in the target hero's space as well as every adjacent space. Any model in those spaces are hit by Hellfire, and then the markers are removed. A brutal harbinger is a demon extra large. He has unspeakable terror. Any hero starting their activation on the same and adjacent map tile takes 4 horror hits. He is the bringer of death. At the end of each fight round, he makes a random special attack. He may move through other models and changes targets each turn. He is also immune to critical hits. He has a movement of 12. Artemis can escape on a 4+. He has a 4+ to hit for melee. He has 4 combat that do 5 damage each. He has 3 for defense and 28 health. Let's see what his elite ability will be. 5. He is an emissary of evil. He is now initiative 5. Holding back the darkness. 9 is good. The Harbinger will go. Will he cast Hellfire on us? He will. Can we defend the Hellfire? Our defense is 4+. We defend. Harbinger will roll his 4 combat against us, hitting on 4+. Scores 2 hits. Artemis defends on a 4+. He defends 1 and takes 5 potential wounds. Will our armor help us? Armor is 5+. We block all but 1 wound. Can Artemis escape on a 4+? He can. Rolling for movement. We're just going to back up 1. Throwing our last shatter grenade. Detonating on 3+. Take that, demon! He gets D3 wounds, plus a stun marker. 3 wounds. Artemis has to defend 4 horror hits. Willpower is 4+. We take 1 point of sanity damage. We'll use our coach gun. Hitting on 3+. 2 hits. -2 to each die because he has a stun marker. 6 more wounds. At the end of the round, he will do his special attack. 2, Sweeping Strike. Every adjacent hero takes D6 combat hits. We are not adjacent. Holding back the darkness. 9 is good. Can the Harbinger break free of being stunned on a 4+? He does not. Will he cast Hellfire on us? He does. Can Artemis defend on a 4+? He does. Harbinger rolling his 4 combat. Scoring 2 hits. Can Artemis defend on a 4+? He defends 1. We have armor 5+. We only block 1, taking 4 more wounds. Can Artemis escape? No. Again, taking 2 shots with the coach gun, hitting on 3+. 2 hits. They would be criticals. I know he ignores critical hits, however, does he ignore the effects of the criticals on the coach gun? I know it won't go through his defense, but I think that we should still get the benefit, minus the defense. So the benefit is it's plus X damage, where X is equal to the target's printed defense. So these rolls would be +3 damage, but with his defense of 3, they'd be minus that 3, so they'd be even rolls? I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments below? And then going forward, we'll treat it whatever the consensus is. For now, I'm going to say that because he is immune to critical hits, that he won't get the critical hit damage bonus. So these will be -2 to each roll, because he is stunned. Wow. 9 more wounds. That brings him to 18 wounds total. Let's see what his Bringer of Death special attack will be this end of this round. 2 again, Sweeping Strike. We take D6 combat hits. So we will take 5 combat hits. We defend on a 4+. We block 2. Use a grit. Blocking 2 more, leaving us with 1 hit. Can we defend 5 wounds? Armor is 5+. We block 1 and take 4 wounds. That would KO us, so we will use our revive token. Holding back the darkness. 9 is good. Will the Harbinger get rid of his stun marker? He does. Rolling his 4 combat, hitting on 4+. He scores no hits. Does he cast Hellfire? We forgot to do that. He does not. Artemis will take his 4 horror hits. Defends 1, taking 3 points of sanity damage. Can Artemis escape? No. Rolling his 2 shots with the coach gun. Only scoring 1 hit this time. -3 to the roll. No wounds. The Harbinger's special attack this round. Again with the sweeping strike. D6 combat hits. 1 combat hit. Alright. Artemis defends on 4+. He defends. Holding back the darkness. 10 is good. Will the Harbinger cast Hellfire? He does not. He will roll his 4 combat, hitting on 4+. Scores 2 hits. Artemis defends on 4+. He defends both of those. Can we defend the 4 horror hits? No, we take all 4 sanity damage. Can he escape? He can. Taking his 2 shots with the coach gun. 2 hits. -3 to each of these rolls. 6 more wounds. He now has 24 wounds on him, only 4 left. What will his special attack be? Again, sweeping strike. We are not adjacent. It will not affect us. Holding back the darkness. 6 will fail, getting us our first Growing Dread card. Our Growing Dread card is Dread. You shudder to think of what lay before you. Move the darkness 1 step forward on the depth track. Will the Harbinger cast Hellfire? He does! Can Artemis defend? He does! Harbinger rolls his 4 combat. Scoring 2 hits. We have a 4+ defense. We defend 1 and take 1 hit. Our armor is 5+. We take 3 wounds. We'll try to escape again. No luck. Let's see if we take any of these horror hits. Our willpower is 4+. We take 3 more points of sanity damage. Taking our 2 shots with our coach gun. Hitting on 3+. We score 2 hits. This could be it. He needs 4 wounds to be destroyed. These rolls will be -3 to each roll. 4 wounds. He is destroyed. Back to the hells you came from, demon. To successfully complete the mission, the heroes must defeat all enemies on the board. Each hero gains 50 XP and D6 times $100. So Artemis will get $200. Let's also see what kind of loot that Harbinger dropped. Gold bars, $250. As always, I thank you for tuning in to this episode of Artemus Tau. We will see you on the way to our next frontier town.